welcome to Wolf Farms. I'm Dawn, also known as Knit Wolf.
And I'm James, also known as Wolf Photo. And welcome returning viewers. I want to thank new viewers for checking us out. This podcast is brought to you by Wolf Farms. You can find us on the internet at wolffarms.net. The scent of the month this month is chocolate covered cherries, so you get 25% off that through the end of the month. And we got other sale items, so go check that out. So let's get this show underway.
Well, dang. You were just, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the show.
That's it.
Super short show. There used to be a Disney thing, the Mike Super Short Show.
Oh, didn't. I must have missed out when I was a kid because I didn't see that one. So.
No, this is for Jimmy's age.
Oh, well, see. I must have. I had trouble.
So, farm happenings.
Farm happenings. What do we got on the list? Oh, well, you want to start with the sad news? I guess Gypsy, our mixed dog, part coyote, part shepherd. She's been having a hard time, and we thought back in August that we would have to put her down, but the vet gave us some medicine and kind of helped her out. But unfortunately, the last week, she kind of took a turn for the worst, and we had to go in and have her put down on Tuesday. Wasn't it Tuesday night? Or Wednesday?
I think it was Wednesday.
It was the day before. It was the 13th. So
yeah.
But yeah, she got to the point where she couldn't get up anymore, and so it's sad, but you could tell it was the right time. It's
never easy to, because most of our pets are family, so. Yeah,
so that was rough, but unfortunately we could see it coming just because, just the last week it's just got progressively worse, and then pretty quickly to the point where she just couldn't get up, and when it gets to that point, there's not a whole lot you can do, and it'd be, I think, worse to leave her than to, so we had to do that on Wednesday. It was Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were going to do it Tuesday, but my appointment ran late,
and I
was in a lot of pain, so.
Yeah, so anyways, but yeah, so that's kind of the sad news, that was tough. And we're still kind of dealing with it. It's still,
because we're cleaning her room. Yes, she's spoiled. She
had her own bedroom. Had her own bedroom. So, but yeah, so we're in there, kind of rearranging. We're gonna redo that room now. But anyway, so that's the sad news. The other farm happening stuff is I was out working, getting ready for the fruit trees that I got in a couple weeks. If you watched a couple episodes back, I got 14 new fruit trees that we're going to put in. So yesterday I was out getting ready for that. I dig up the spot where all the trees are going and mix in some, wood shavings and stuff, and basically get that ready. And now I got to go in, basically grade out the whole area. It's about an 80 by 100 foot area that I gotta, basically get it all ready, and then can go put in all the trees and piping and stuff.
How do you know that?
Because the trees are spaced 20 feet apart, so we got 4 trees by 3 trees, and then the overflow. So just call me crazy.
Mr. Numbers.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? Measuring?
Yeah, I got this. I've got it on memorized on the back of my head there. So yeah, so I basically going to be working on that. Hopefully get the trees in the ground, because unfortunately it's warmed up here, and some of our fruit trees are starting to bud, which is not good, because we're going to get, it was 32 degrees this morning, but it was 75, in the afternoon, and 30 in the, in the evening. So the trees are confused. So,
every year.
Yeah, so, and even the apricot trees, I was out there this morning, and they're starting to bud out too, so, it's unfortunate because it'll freeze, and then we'll lose all of the fruit that we were going to get on those trees, so. One of these years, we'll actually get to eat some of it.
I don't think so.
The constant battle, that I figure we'll put more trees in, and we have more odds of actually getting some fruit off of them. So, well, we'll see. But yeah, so that's I think that's about it. I don't know that I had anything else going on. It's a long weekend.
I've just been trying to recuperate.
Yeah, you're still dealing with the cold.
Yeah, cold, and whenever
teeth.
I get teeth work, my sinuses sit on my teeth, so that makes the migraines and fun stuff. And then I'll feel a little bit better, and then I go back.
Then you overdo it because you don't listen to me about staying and resting. Resting, it does the body good.
Hey, when Carolyn checked on me the other day, I was sitting and listening to a dirty vampire book. I was being good.
Well, then I guess I need to buy you some more dirty vampire books, and then you'll sit and rest. So, yeah, so.
Well, yeah, that's nothing with me.
Yeah.
Didn't do much knitting either, so.
No, that
so
was
let's get on
farm
into it.
happening. So let's.
In the coop.
Oh, you're skipping over that section.
Because there's nothing there.
I see that. I guess we weren't cooking nothing this week.
I wasn't cooking.
No bread bacon or anything,
no.
huh? It was
I need
resting.
to, too, because Jimmy's like, I need some more of that bread.
You did cookies.
Oh, yeah, that's just...
That doesn't count.
That was necessity.
All right,
Chocolate chip, yeah.
So what's in your coop?
In my coop, well, it's kind of like, how do I say this? Because this goes into something else. I'm doing the Voodoo You Love Me. And this was a gift from Sheep Dreamery Kelly on Tuesday. Little did she know how much this really cheered me up. So I'm doing this out of my Busy Bee Polworth that I spun. And it's a worsted, and it's on size 4, and I did the body and the head.
Cool.
And it's bubbly, bubbly, bubbly doo. Voodoo, the bubbly doo. I started having fun now. So yeah, I did that much, and so I got one arm or leg on the needles. So yeah,
coming along. Yeah, you're having fun with that one.
Yeah, it is. Sadie keeps trying to grab it. I love knitting with hand spun. This one I actually got quite a bit of yardage, but when I was spinning this fiber, this is what I had in my head that I wanted it to be. Yeah, and Kelly has the Sheep Dreamery podcast, and she goes, I'm surprised you didn't already have that pattern. So, yeah, I love it.
Do, and now you're knitting it up.
Mm-hmm. It's adorable. I love it. It's a great pattern and easy to follow, and that's a Susan Claudine. You want to see what? I am totally off today.
Yeah.
Off my game. Let's see. I didn't even have none of this up. Voodoo You Love Me by Susan Claudino. So it's really cute. I love seeing all the different ways people have adapted the pattern, and it's fun. I love this one, so I'm pretty sure it's Froggy Monkeys. Yeah. I just love how she she put the pins. It's just too cute. So, yeah. I sat the other day because I didn't feel good, and I was just clicking through all the different projects, seeing how everybody did them.
See the different things that you can do with that pattern, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Cool. So then I'm working on the Color Affection by Vera Valimaki. And this is done with Cascade Heritage and gray, orange, and turquoise. Well, that's it. They're colors, but they're just numbers. And this gets really tingly. And I finished the section 2 color, so you can see from the Dicky-Doo up. And I just started in, these are on size 6. And I just started in on the short row shaping with the 3rd color, which is the turquoise. So So yeah, it's a fun, easy knit. But as I'm holding this up, I can really see through that. I almost think if I did this again, I would do it on like size 4 needles, so it's
tighter, a tighter.
Yeah. So
blend.
yeah, it's.
Well, would thicker yarn do the same thing?
Yeah,
or fill it
you
up?
could do that too. So, yeah, and I have no idea why I chose these colors. These are just not my colors. I'm thinking,
He's the random color generator, huh?
Well, the thing is, we won this at the yarn crawl last year, the LA yarn crawl.
Oh, yeah.
And so I ordered 2 other colors to go with it. But I don't know, orange and...
Must have been one of those days, huh?
Yeah.
Not your typical greens and pinks, huh?
No. Well, I didn't want to do green and pink because then it'd look like my daybreak, but... Yeah.
It's okay. Looking good.
It looks cool.
Yeah. Is that everything that's in your coop?
Yeah, I didn't do that much.
Well, you've been
Down.
not feeling well, but okay. I got a cat on my lap. Let me get rid of him for a second here.
I don't know what it is. As soon as we hit record, he comes over.
He's my buddy.
Bugs the whole time.
Yep. Yeah, lately
Trouble.
he goes through his spells. But anyway, so in my coop, I was gifted the camera pattern. Let's see if I can show this without... is there a completed... Let me see if there's a completed picture of this. I was gifted... This is my first gifted pattern. So I thought, well, I will start on that. It doesn't actually show a completed one, but it's called
Here's
Camera.
a completed one of it.
Yeah, so I'm working on that. And it was gifted to me by Kate Crafts, Kate in New York. And so I thought, well, I finished up. I got something that flew in the coop. I'm sure you figured that out already. But so I started knitting on that. And you know, this is something that I'll have to knit or stitch together when I get all done. But
It's gonna be a pain in the patuka.
These are the pieces that I've gotten done so far, and I'm doing this out of Red Heart black yarn, and then there's a gray portions that I don't know what yarn that is, but doing it on size 4 needles, and it's good because I'm getting to practice more casting on and binding off. It's a good practice thing so that I get the hang of that. So.
Well, and I showed you once to refresh you, and you've done 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, these are pretty quick to...
These are the sides you said?
Yeah, the sides and the top of the camera, and then the next thing is like
Why is one longer?
Because I knit differently. It's gonna...
Are they supposed to be all the same?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's 2...
I'm like, oh, honey. Maybe
You're gonna get me worried.
When I went to bed.
I'll have an unusual, it'll be unique.
Special.
But yeah, so these are just the side. I was hoping to get to the point where I was doing the front and the back, where I actually have, a little more of the shape of it. But I actually will probably have this done by next week, at least the pieces. Because it's actually a quick knit. There's not, there's nothing complicated like lace work or anything like that. I can just sit there and,
How's that black yarn?
Oh, yeah, I don't like black yarn. I got stuck when I was binding off on one of the pieces last night. Dawn had already gone to bed, and I thought, I had to back up and trying to find where I'm supposed to, being a new knitter and all, I managed though. I set it down and I'll watch TV, and then I gotta finish this. I really wanted to finish that up, and so I ended up figuring it out. But black yarn, that's really hard to see what you're, where you're picking things up, especially my eyes. I gotta.
So that's why I told you when you used to tell me, "Oh, knit me black socks." Never.
Yeah.
Never.
You like the challenge. So, but yeah, black a little tougher to see than other things. So, but yeah, so it's like I said, it's coming along. I think this will be a quick knit, and
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
not
the hard
gonna be
part.
quit
I was
is
gonna
putting
say
that
all
together.
Yeah, the piecing it together. So next week I might show you a bag of completed pieces. So we'll see, but yeah, it's coming along. It's like I said, it's a good practice for me to do the cast on and the bind off, and I get down and get some of that underway. Because most projects is just one cast on, and then I'm busy trying to figure out what else I'm doing. So this is a lot of start, stop, little pieces. Got to sew them together. Wonder if I can just glue them. What do you think? Just kidding. So that's what's in my coop. So I'm working on that, but I thought I would start on my my first gifted pattern. Not that I've got a whole lot of different things. I just wanted to do something small. I got another. I think someone else gifted me the toy pattern that.
Melanie.
Yeah, maybe that'll be my next thing.
Well, and that's I know a good pattern because it's a Rebecca Danger pattern. The weenie dog.
Yeah. Get the weenie right back there on the shelf.
I know, you've already did a weenie.
So
flown the coop.
Flown the coop. Do you have a flown the coop? I got a flown the coop. Right here. This is my finished object.
Yep.
You can take it off if you are. Try not to.
Get it closer.
Yeah. So I wrapped up my Zuzu Petals shawl cowl and got that all blocked. I was really close last week, but I wanted to make sure that I had something in the coop. So But yeah, so that turned out really nice.
And what was the yarn?
That was the tart, Madeline Tosh tart, and I did that with the what needles was I using?
Size 6 signatures.
Size 6. See, I should just. Say
no, you didn't like the signatures. You switched out and got the higher
highest. I was using the highest. So
I love this. I'm gonna take over your flown the coop. This is. I don't know why more designers, which if you're out there listening, do not design this, because 90% of the time, this is how most people wear the shawls.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of bandana it, and it's just perfect. It's so ingenious.
Yeah,
this was a Karina Spencer design, but yeah, I mean, this is awesome.
That gives you some decorative feature, and it keeps your neck warm. And
yeah, I love it. I want to spin some.
Do some hand
spun. Maybe have you knit it again.
Sure. Practice makes perfect. Actually, it was fun. Like I said,
it's gorgeous.
It was a challenge, doing the figuring this is my first one, so the lace work stuff.
No, what was a challenge was getting the trouble hair off of this yarn. This yarn is very
grabby,
clingy. Yeah.
And a friendly white cat who likes to come and sit on my arm when I'm on the couch. And
I'm trying to get someone to learn that the project bags are to hold the yarn while you're working on it so they don't get dirty.
Imagine that. Well, we were cleaning up the room, and I came across the little thing for my yarn. It's called a yarn barn. I thought that's perfect for Wolf Farms, right? The yarn barn, a little plastic tube that's got a. I have to try that to keep my black yarn clean. Of course, I don't think anything sticks to this. This is, it's pretty. I don't know. Look at that. See, there's some trouble here.
Yeah,
but
he hairs everything.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I can blame my my ignorance on my newness. Haven't figured that out.
Yeah.
See, I guess if you made me pluck the hairs, I might learn it a little better.
No. So, Farmer's Market, I wanted to mention again that Ear Dormant, etc., which is Jackie, and she's Flancers on Plurkin Ravelry, is giving Wolf Farms listeners 15% off in her shop all the month of February, so you got a couple more weeks. And the code for that is WolfFarms0213. So, go get it.
Go get it.
Go get them.
Yeah.
I know Girlfriend's Knitting, Ca Shirley, also has some of her stitch markers on sale.
You're checking those out.
Yeah,
huh?
I have. It's like, ooh, I got so many though. I don't need them.
No. Yeah, you're not one to have a collection or a stash. Huh?
No, it really bothers me.
I
I have way too much. I was just telling him last night, I'm like, I got way too much yarn. It's just bugging me. Gotta
Just need to learn to knit with your toes. You can have two projects going at the same time. Oh, I was talking to you about that, about knitting. Like, I can't see how people can knit so fast and not look at it.
Yeah.
I'm sitting, because I have to sit there. I'm like, how do they not skewer the middle of the yarn and, all the things that I'm having problems with. You get going and it's like, But I guess you could feel it, you know when you've kind of grabbed the yarn wrong because it doesn't feel right. But I'm thinking, man, people that they sit there and like a knitting machine, I'm like, how do they not do that?
Yeah.
So, but
I like to look. But that's meditative to me too,
I have to look, otherwise it can be stressful because I'm going to end up having to back up or undo. I like, at least with little pieces like this, I'm like, I'll just start over again. I'm just, Actually, I think the first piece I did back up to the initial slip knot once or twice because I was like, it was like too tight on the. I don't like these needles, by the way. I'm a needle snob. But these, I maybe, because these are a little slick, but I was like getting it too tight because I don't want it falling off, sliding off. I had that happen a couple times where I lost a thing. I'm sidetracking, but.
Well, that's good because there's new people out there that are
not needle snobs and yarn snobs.
No, I meant new knitters and stuff.
Yeah. So. New knitters, use the good stuff. It helps. So I was, like I said, black yarn.
You get them hooked too. You give them really good yarn and
really
good needles. And
that's like I said. With black yarn, it's back to the beginning. It doesn't take that long to knit one of these up. So I'm like, the hardest bind off is slow.
Well, you kind of have a death grip on it.
Yeah. I don't want it falling out. It's like, I don't know. I don't have the
Your hands are going numb and you're like...
Yeah. I haven't got to the point where I'm relaxing. I'm not a knitter going...
Every 20 minutes to relax your hands and do some bends and...
Get a Diet Coke. See what she has to put up with. She's stuck with me.
Yeah, like being stuck with you.
Yeah. So it's because I love red. Oh, that was last week's podcast.
Last week. Why are you repeating?
Because
you're old.
People really need another dose of that. So okay. Now that I've sidetracked the show, let's get back into.
Squeal like a pig. Well, this week's I got lots of squeals. I already mentioned the gotta see him again. The voodoo pattern from Kelly Sheep Dreamery, and then Heaven's Joy Kareen sent me the fungus amigurumi mushroom by Cheese Zombie. These are so cute. You can't not look at this and not smile.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Veggie Tales. I remember Timmy was a kid and they had the Veggie Tale.
He hated that.
I know. But I saw that and that's what it reminded me of. It's the Veggie Tale.
It does. The same expressions.
See, I got the cucumber. I just got to put eyes on it now. See?
This is
I'm in a mood today. I knew that was going to happen, so...
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry. You're flustering me.
So, I'll shut up.
So then I got in the mail. I'm like, what? I didn't order nothing. A package out in the mail and came on the perfect day. And this was from Sadie. We Shoot Stars on Clerk. Blue Ruin on Ravelry. And she's the host of the Yarnivore podcast. Or it's Yarnivorous if you're looking for it on Ravelry. Boy, that's a lot of mouthful. But she went and bought this bag from Knitting's My Bag. I'm going to get that really close so you can see. The cute chihuahuas. The chihuahuas in the bow tie.
Yeah,
He's a Doctor Who chihuahua. Because Kimberly has a, Sock Bunny has a shirt that says, oh crap, what is it? Something bow ties. It's a Doctor Who. Now I can't remember it.
It'll come to you after we get done.
Yeah, I know, but I know her shirt said something bow ties.
See, that's this podcast challenge. You know, we keep throwing. We do this all the time. We throw out, what is that thing?
What is that?
And everybody's like yelling at the camera or at your screen, trying to tell us. So
here's it's knitting is my bag. Trying to get it to focus, and then the cute stitch marker. So yeah, it's them chihuahuas are just they just make me laugh. And it's a big bag, so I had to hold quite a bit.
yeah.
So thank you, Sadie. But yeah, it cracks me up. Them little.
Yeah, that's about the look Fuji'd give you if you put a bow tie on
Yes.
her. She'd give you that. She
doesn't like to be dressed.
No.
She has a whole drawer full of sweaters I made her, and
She thinks she looks pretty just the way she is. She doesn't need any accessories, huh?
she likes being all natural.
It's funny, we were looking at pictures this week, and pictures of her and her sweaters that she did her. She looked like she's, like she won't move.
Really still.
She won't move. It's like pretty funny.
And I dressed her since wee little puppy, and yeah, she didn't like it from then on. But she got best dressed in all her training.
I was gonna say you had a different
she
sweater.
Had a different sweater every week.
Every time we took her to training, she had a different sweater.
She did 3 different trainings, so she has over 24 different sweaters. And they would match
She
me.
hates every one of them too. Yeah, she when the drawer gets opened, she runs.
She knows the word sweater.
Poor guy. Snorting.
Then I got a couple of cute little Valentine cards from Maddie's mama, Lori and Maddie. I just had to show you that face. It just cracked me up. And then my Brittany B-Wing, she is such a doll. I've shown you her cards before. She makes them, they're just beautiful. I don't think I'd have the patience. I'm a knitter and I don't have the patience. But then she has these cute little...
I know why you would have an issue with making cards, because you're scissor challenged. You'd have a hard time cutting out all the things that have to go on it.
No, they're die cuts, so I wouldn't have a problem at all. But yeah, she had a little knitted heart too, and I'm like, ooh, there's stuff falling out at me. So yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Yeah, you're scissor challenged. She can cut yarn though.
Yeah, that doesn't have to be straight. What was something I was cutting the other day, and I'm like, I just cannot do something straight.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Because you probably wouldn't have told me.
But you were watching and you're like, honey.
Yeah, I don't remember. But
yeah,
you...
We don't remember crap.
Yeah.
So, picking on the farm.
Oh, picking on the farm already. Okay, well, I was going to continue on with my getting to know your camera. You give me an odd look there. We've talked about this. Getting to know your camera. And I was going to talk about white balance, the white balance setting on your camera. Kind of explain what this is, why it's there, and basically how to use it if you really want to try and use it. So basically, you need to understand light has actually color or temperature. They measure light temperature in a scale called Kelvin. And if you're outside in the daytime, the temperature outside is about 5,500 degrees Kelvin. Now, I'll explain why this is important. When you go inside and the lighting in your house, the lights from a regular incandescent bulb, the normal, bulbs that you have in your house, is about 3,200 degrees Kelvin. Well, the temperature of the light changes the color. And your mind actually automatically corrects for it. You have an auto white balance in your head. So when you go inside and you're looking at things under, light, like incandescent bulb, your lamp light and whatnot, your mind corrects for that color temperature. So things that you know are white will appear to you to be white. Well, when you take a picture, the film or your digital camera will collect that as the correct color temperature that it's coming across. So you'll get, depending on the type of lighting that you're under, will change the actual color that's recorded, which is pretty interesting. Back in the day of film, they actually had different films that you could get based on the lighting situation, or they had filters for you to correct for certain situations. And like I said, the incandescent bulb, your normal standard light bulb, that is like 3200 degrees Kelvin. That will turn like an orangish color. So you may remember seeing pictures from
old
back to
70s.
Old 70s pictures. You'll see the indoor pictures look all yellow orange. That's partly because of the film and partly because of the color, the color of the light, and the film just doesn't correct for that. And your digital camera doesn't either, and that's part of the reason why they put the auto white balance or the white balance settings in there. If you're under fluorescent light, it actually has a green tint. It's brighter. It's more towards the blue spectrum, but it has spikes of green, so you look kind of sickly if you don't correct for it under fluorescent. Outside sunny is like 5500 degrees. This is more what you would recognize as being, white. Everything's kind of balanced towards daylight. So if you take your camera out and you don't use any white balance corrections or something, it'll actually look pretty real, true to life. If you get overcast skies, it tends to go more blue. And so you get real, overcast, it'll tend to be more, on the blue end of the spectrum. So these are the kind of color shifts that you deal with depending on the lighting. And your camera, the digital cameras, most of them have a white balance setting. And so the easiest way, if you're not, probably the average person that's listening to this podcast, I would say leave it on auto. Because you'll have an FL setting or fluorescent setting. You'll probably have an incandescent or an indoor setting, which will correct for more of the yellow and orange. The fluorescent one will correct for the green spikes, and the auto white balance right now in the cameras that are out there is pretty good. It does what it needs to do. There's certain situations that you may need to actually set it into a particular setting, but for the most part, I would leave it in auto white balance. There are some exceptions, but if you know that you have that exception, you probably know how to correct for it. So I don't want to get into too much details, but I wanted to explain some background on what exactly that white balance is and why you need to use it. Because most people don't realize that the different lighting tends to cast different color in there because your mind corrects for it, which is pretty incredible in and of itself, but you wouldn't think that you would notice that. But I wanted to kind of, for light color, this is why people that do makeup, if you're doing makeup, I was going to say, because if you're doing makeup under incandescent bulbs, it's casting a yellow or orange look. Your eye's correcting for that. So when you do makeup and then you go outside and it looks completely different, it's because your eye's correcting for the lighting, and you're putting makeup on with that filter, your mental filter on, and then when you go out into different lighting, it looks different. So that's something to be aware of, that you may more than just photography, but just different lighting does different things. Fluorescence, you go to stores. A lot of the lighting is fluorescent, so you're going to see a green spike. So you buy something because you like the color, and you go outside and it's like, oh, I don't like that. There's just things to be aware of. The lighting has a lot of effect on what you're actually seeing. So, that's kind of
Well, and then, you know, if you're doing bathing suit shopping, which sucks anyways, but, you know, you always look, those fluorescent lights just make you look, ooh.
Yeah, it's a green cast. You look ill, you know, there's nothing you can do about it. Your mind corrects for that for the most part. If you take a picture, you will really see a green tint to fluorescent lighting. Just like if you take an uncorrected one indoors, you look orange, or it looks like the 70s old Kodachrome had that real, you know, tint. And if you use Instagram, they actually have filters to put that back in, so it looks like 70s, you know, all over again because of the way the film was designed back then. Actually, it did funky things, and you know, they've worked for years to correct it, and now they actually build filters to put it back in because it's reminiscent of the 70s. You want to give that 70s look to your pictures, you can now do that on Instagram by putting on one of those filters. So it's pretty funny, but basically, you know, that's part of the thing you need to understand with the lighting and its effect on color in general. But that's the whole purpose for your auto white balance setting. Leave it on automatic. So
and is that what it's called?
It's called auto white balance, or AWB. You know, it's in your camera screen. It may say AWB auto. That's the place. You know, there are times that you may want to play with that if you want to be, you know.
What if you're taking it at night?
Well, at night you're going to be under lights. If you're outdoors, you know, like I said, the average person, leave it on auto. If you want to start playing with it to see what it does, because you can set it to fluorescent and it will correct for green spikes, and so it may, you know, do funky things in normal lighting. You know, that's, you know, you can play with it as an artistic way, but for the average person taking pictures, you know, my recommendation, leave it in auto, because for the most part it will do good. And this will, if you have a camera that shoots RAW, this doesn't affect RAW at all, because RAW is your RAW camera setting records exactly what is received on the image sensor. So the color thing will have to be corrected after the fact. But this will, when you have the auto white balance, it corrects for the JPEG and the TIFF formats. When it saves the file, it actually corrects and saves it accordingly. So, but that being said, that I think is my little spiel on auto white balance, or not auto, but white. Basically the white balance on your camera. So hopefully that gives you some information you didn't know, but
I don't know.
You didn't know. Well, that's how you do it. So if you're using film still, there's filters and stuff, but I think pretty much everybody's gotten away from that. So.
Oh, you forgot to bring your filters over here.
Oh, yeah, that was my to market, wasn't it? Oops. I got filters.
Well, it was cute. It came in this little bag when each one had its own little pouch.
Well, this is okay. I went to market picking on the farm. How's that? We'll just make its own little section. I do a lot of landscape photography, and one of the things, the challenges is in the early mornings or late afternoons, the lighting difference between the sky and your you know, the foreground, you know, your landscape area, the lighting difference is hard to capture in a single image, because the color or the light level intensity in the sky is a lot different than on the ground, particularly before the sun comes up, because the sun's shining up at the sky but hasn't hit the ground yet. And so they actually make filters, and they call them graduated neutral density filters. That's a mouthful for you. But basically what it does is it darkens the sky while leaving the foreground and stuff at a certain level. And they have different gauges, you know, different scales. So when you're doing landscape photography, you can darken the sky so in a single picture you can get the foreground at the right exposure as the sky, and it all comes out, you know, turning, you know, in a single picture. If you didn't have that, you'd have to take two pictures, one for the sky, one for the ground. Then you'd have to go, you know, and join them together after the fact. which is a little more work. But with these, you can adjust. And the filter set that I got has it has different mounting rings for all of the lenses I have, because I have a variety of lenses and they all have different size mounting threads. And so this kit had all of the ones that I'll need, plus the holder for all the filters and stuff. And so I ordered that and got that this week. So that'll be for when I'm venturing out doing my landscape photography. I had one filter already, but this is like a full kit. So
it's neat.
Yeah. So yeah, I've used it before, but I have only the one filter, so I can only do, I think it's a +8 filter. But you guys, oh sorry, cat's down by my feet here. I just kicked him. Sorry, Trouble. But yeah, so that was my I didn't bring it. Maybe I'll show it next week. But that's wrapping up my picking on the farm. So let me flick it back to you.
So in the arena, we have the Snuggle Project still going on, and that's with the Yarnivore podcast. And this week's big thank yous to those who's entered, as of this recording, is Bunnyfish. Bunny, BUNNIPHISH. That's how I would say it.
Yeah, fish.
9 Grands for Grandma. Skin OUE. Crazy. There's a big old tumbleweed just blowing. I'm like, whoa. Crazy Chicken Lady. Maria Wilhelmina. Queen Ribbit. And she has done 24 total so far.
24 happy animals.
She's really wanting the full Misa, you guys.
It's like doing one for every one that someone else has entered.
Yeah.
So.
Sandra Rum, Jen's Cows, and IROC Knits. IROC Knits did a lot too, because she did some sewn ones, her and her daughter. So, and then we got the Elizabeth Quinton Designs bag that you could also win.
Wolf Farms gift certificates.
Yeah. So. And then I wanted to mention Jay Paled of the Knitting Brooklyn podcast sent me a PM to let me know that they're going to be doing the Remembering Remy again this year. And so once I get the snuggles done, I'm going to start doing some preemie hats. And this is in conjunction with Tracy T.B. McCarthy, who started the Remembering Remy. This year they will knitting and crocheting preemie hats from February 23rd to May 29th. And Tracy has tied the pediatric cancer awareness into this in honor of Remy's cousin Ty. I've mentioned this before on here, and he passed away in 2012 at the age of 5 from cancer. It just gave me chills saying that. All the fabulous prizes this year, which are in the Knitting Brooklyn podcast, she has a whole thread for this, are going to be gold tones for the gold ribbon in honor of the pediatric awareness. There's also a petition that you can go sign asking the White House to light up in gold during the month of September, which is for the pediatric awareness. God, that just gave me the goosebumps. Just, ooh. Ooh. All of the information, like I said, can be found in the Knitting Brooklyn podcast thread, which I will have this all linked. And she'll be posting, the prizes and donations. And so we should probably donate to that too. We did last year, so I just need to tell Jessica. I was thinking when she had mentioned the gold prizes, I'm like, I guess we could just call it the Gold Wolf Certificate. Like the golden ticket.
Yeah, like the Willy Wonka's
that's all I can think
ticket.
of. So go over there and check it out and knit some preemie hats for that. Those go really quick. You can do them out of scraps and, and you all know that's a very dear project to me. So I also want to mention the Colorful Cow with Limnit Crochet podcast is going on until, now I'm getting all my dates all screwed up. Is that till the end of May? February, March. February, March.
I was gonna say, yeah. I thought it was 2 months. So.
It's an M month. Which I've
maybe you need to put on your notes a little larger.
Yeah, it's really teeny, and she's having the raffle. I mentioned different raffle prizes. There's even more donated this week, and so go check those out and donate to the Josh fundraiser. That's for the histiocytosis. It's a rare disease that Josh lost his battle to, and so go on over there and help that out. And I think that's about it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Well, that was
quick.
Yeah, what's wrong? It's song and dance, 15 minutes of entertainment. But yeah, so let's see. I had a good thought and I just lost it. You just sidetracked me there. I'll
show you the pretty awesome yarn from the Cyborg Creations. This is for the. You got to just see this pretty yarn. It's just pretty sparkles. So, yep.
Okay.
And this part of this is donated to the limb fundraiser. Have you thought of what you were thinking yet?
Yeah, I was gonna just mention thank people for the the podcast feedback that they leave for the positive feedback that they leave. If you have time for those podcasts that you watch and enjoy, take a minute to go and leave feedback for them, and it helps encourage us as we go through. And
whether that's in iTunes or in their groups in Ravelry, and I've been behind this week because it's been one of those weeks. So I've been kind of off the grid pretty much everywhere. So
yeah. And then for the links you keep referring to, you can find them in the Ravelry group, or you're now putting them up on the blog spot. So
wolffarms.blogspot.com.
So now you can find. So if you're not on Ravelry, which you can join
for free,
yeah, or you can get all the links from our podcast blog. So you can try that out. So.
Yep.
And don't forget, if you're placing an order at Wolf Farms. You have to get one over on the table. Our Wolf Farm video podcast button you can get for free with any paid order. Just put that in the comment section as you're checking out that you'd like one, and we'll be happy to stick one in there and ship it off. Apologize for those people that are ordering because shipping went up, and we had to unfortunately raise our shipping rates because of that. But I feel most bad about the international is almost doubled in some cases. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of control we have over that. So, but we appreciate all our customers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you want a free podcast button, just ask.
Yep.
So, anyways, I think that's about it.
Yep. So until next time, smack.
Let's get cracking
And hatch it. Bye, y'all.
Bye.